Assalamu alaikum, how are you all? So, welcome to another episode of ACUK Online. So, today I'm going to be speaking about something that has been, on my mind, but I haven't really been able to voice it out. Now, I've been teaching IELTS for the last 10 years, and mashallah, alhamdulillah, I've been getting very good scores, and those scores are pretty outstanding. About a couple of my students managed to get an 8.5 overall. Many of my students have gotten a 9 out of 9 in their IELTS listening and reading scores. And the highest that I've accomplished in writing is 8. I think even 8.5. And in speaking, obviously, reflects the same, progression. So I've been able to get very good scores out of my students. And the methodology that I use is that I teach them for about a month. In that period of time, we go over each module, then we start practicing the past papers, and then I sit them down for mock after mock after mock, because I want to develop that muscle memory as well as the stamina to deal with this extremely tiring exam, exhausting exam. So I've maintained a certain repetition for getting very good and high scores. Now, that period for studying from 3 weeks to 4 weeks is very crucial, right? You are sitting for an exam, you are not preparing for an interview, or let's say you're not preparing for a quiz. This is a proper exam and it requires preparation. There's a myth out there that students generally believe that, my English is good, I can pass the IELTS. And that may be true. Your English may be good. And yes, you may even get a very decent, reasonable score with the minimum preparation. But let's say that you did that and you did not score that required band in each module and you were left short of just zero point 0.5. You'll have to sit for the exam again. So better to go into it prepared. Now, what's been bugging me is that a lot of times students come to me once they've registered. And they may have registered for a number of reasons. They may have registered because their consultants or whoever was looking after their paperwork pushed them to register. They needed, because the consultant needed those to fill up those tick boxes, the IELTS score, the documentation, and so on and so forth. And they mean well. The consultants are doing their job from their point of view, and they mean well, but they don't understand the dynamics of the examination. They don't understand the exam as a facilitator would, as a teacher would. So they just do their job and tell the students, register for the exam, sit for the exam, and you'll be good to go, and we'll get our score and we can send in your documentation. We can meet our deadlines. So I guess that is one of the reasons why students register. Another reason could be that they register for the exam because their English is good and they just feel they need a couple of hours of practice and they'll be good to go. So there could be a number of reasons why people register before they seek out a facilitator. And then eventually, when they come to me, they tell me that we have the exam in 2 weeks, we have the exam in a week's time, we have the exam in 3 days' time, and we need your help. Now, nobody can create magic. I wish I could. I wish I literally could give you a pill to drink, to dissolve in water and to drink it all up and to be amazing in the exam. But realistically speaking, nobody can do that. I need at least a couple of, weeks, at least a couple of days to prepare you for the exam and to prepare you in a way that you don't have to sit for the exam again. You see, I'm trying to build a future for you. I'm trying to build something on which you can rely on and not something that you can just waste money on, right? And I would like to be a part of that. The other day I was attending the partners conference, the partners meet as it was called, of 2022. And this is an annual event that the British Council organizes because I am a partner sorry, with the British Council. We are a registered center. So I was attending this event, and we had this event. The event that we were supposed to have earlier was just before COVID, and then we couldn't have it for obvious reasons, and now we met in 2022. So it was a very iconic and historical meetup because it was happening post COVID, and it was finally happening, so to speak. So the one thing that they talked about and they highlighted was how instrumental an IELTS instructor is to to being a stepping stone for the future of a person, for the future of a person's livelihood, for the future of a person's education, right? Because you're either migrating or you're using IELTS for higher studies. So we're instrumental in our own small measure, helping you towards that goal that you're trying to reach. So I think we know what we're talking about. So when students come to me telling me that we've already registered, now we need your help, I really cannot, I don't have a magic wand that I can move around and create magic. I still need a couple of, days or weeks to prepare you for the exam, right? So my advice is that do not register before you seek out a facilitator. Look, if your consultant needs your score, let's say in a week's time or 2 weeks' time, so at least let me set that timeline for you. Let me tell you that, we're going to prepare for the exam and we're going to sit for the exam at this date, and then you'll be good to go. Your consultant will be happy because they'll get their scores. I'll be happy because I have put in my hard work and energy and you have managed to get the score that you need. So we're going to work like a team. Okay, but if you come to me that, with the fact that you've registered already and you expect me to work under that pressure and to get the score that you need, what if you don't? What if you sat for the exam, you prepared, even though you prepared well, but you just didn't prepare enough, so you fell short? So that's going to be very frustrating for you. It would be frustrating for anybody. I mean, you've invested time, you've invested money, and you've kind of gone, it's a counteract, right? Because at the end of the day, you didn't get the score that your consultant wanted at a certain date. You didn't get that score when they wanted it. So you're ending up putting in more energy. You're sitting for the exam again. So you're already delaying the process in a number of ways. So might as well look at it from the point of view of doing it right the first time, right? So like I said, I know what I'm talking about, and I'm really reaching out to all of you. If you sit down and watch these videos, you will realize that you're learning so much that no book, no site at internet is telling you about. Not because they don't know, it's just because I am speaking out of experience and I'm really hitting the nitty-gritty. Let's put it that way. I'm really hitting the nitty-gritty and I'm trying to reach out to as many people as I can with my advice. So best of luck for your IELTS preparation. Until next time, take care. Stay blessed.